Hey, it's Chris Gio, and today we are talking about merchant methods, 4 pillars for running an inventory-based business. I'm really excited to provide this high-level 6,000-foot view for all of you that may be looking for a way to better understand how to connect the dots and the things you know to be true. I'm excited to provide this overview to help you contextualize some of the challenges that you're having. More importantly, not only to understand these challenges, but to understand what elements are contributing to them so that you can come up with your next plan of attack. So that's what we're talking about today, why these 4 pillars exist and how to utilize them specifically for your inventory-based business. So again, I'm Chris, and my life's work is to teach inventory-based business owners how to think tactically and critically, how to develop the technical know-how so that you can build your dream job and your dream business. All right, so let's get going. The first thing I want to talk about is the difference between running a product-based business versus an inventory-based business. This nuance is important for us as we move through some of this training and some of this content. So a product-based business is something that a lot of businesses run, whether they are retailers, makers, or small batch manufacturers, or whether they're service providers like me. So me as a service provider, I have products. Not only am I consulting, but I teach small groups of students, large workshops, intimate tutoring cohorts through a couple of different programs that are pillar programs for me and my method, but they're offered more academically, one-on-one, and they're intellectual product type of services. That's a product-based business. So is selling bottles of water. That's also a product-based business. But the challenge with selling a bottle of water versus selling an online program is that an online program allows me to be agile, quickly change, and potentially offer a minimum viable product. I have lots of feelings about that. However, when you're in the business of selling a physical piece of inventory, we know that you need to show your customer a certain amount before they buy one. And as soon as you start to invest in inventory, you are already cash poor because you've had to invest heavily into all of your product way before you're ever going to realize any sales or revenue. So we're speaking really specifically to inventory-based businesses, retailers, small batch manufacturers, and makers. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. Number 2, I want to talk about the 4 pillars of merchandising and then compare and contrast them to the 5 rights of retail. So when you look in this Venn diagram, which I love Venn diagrams, it allows us to get that 6,000-foot view. The 4 pillars are product, people, process, and profit. And profit's in the middle because we know cash flow is the way that you know you're firing on all cylinders in your inventory-based business. It's also what you need to continue to fuel the fire. You need to buy more inventory to sell more inventory, right? You can never sell what you don't have. Even if you offer made to order, even if you make custom pieces, you still have to create one widget or have one widget to sell one widget. It doesn't scale, right? Versus someone who has a virtual product like mine, I can offer an online class and one person can buy it or 100 people can buy it and it's still one online class. Only one person can drink from the bottle of water. You can't have 100 people pass a bottle of water around. So those are the 4 pillars. Now, you may be familiar, hopefully you're familiar, I'm sure you are, with the 5 rights of retail. And the 5 rights of retail is a framework to understand what success looks like in a retail business and ways to understand how to manipulate these 5 levers in order to fine-tune your key performance indicators. So the 5 rights are offering the right product at the right price at the right time, because so much about retail is seasonal, in the right place where your customer exactly is at and wants your product to be, with the right message, all wrapped up in the right message. And there's a lot of that framework that's still really important. But as we shift to a more modern way of selling inventory and modern retail and modern merchandising, some of that doesn't ring as strongly as it used to. So you and I know place is nebulous. It's ambiguous when it comes to modern retail. We don't even need to talk about that much. We know that to be true. So whether you are a corner bodega or an international omni-channel retailer that can sell anything and fulfill inventory from anywhere in the world, place is ambiguous, and we know that to be true. But right message is so important, because we're not getting rewarded for selling nominally, incrementally better products, right? So we don't always get rewarded for selling an incrementally better car. Otherwise, everyone would have electric cars, or everyone would have upgraded to the next phone or next smart device, right? Already. What we get rewarded for is connection, because when customers buy, they're connecting to something. Product is a means. It's not necessarily an ends. And because people make purchases as a means, it means so many different types of products can fulfill their need or fulfill their want or desire. Because that's true, and we know it to be true, message is so important. It needs to be infused in every pillar. That's what I call brand behaviors. It needs to be infused in the way that we create our processes, the way that we message and teach our employees, the way that we speak and listen to our customers, that's part of people, and the way that we produce and create and select the product itself. All right. So the reason why it's important to understand the way that the 4 pillars of merchandising works is because I hear from students, I hear from clients a pain point that they have. And what is typically happening is that thing is so painful, or that opportunity, you can almost taste it, but it eludes you. People are often looking for quick tactical strikes to make that pain go away, or to create a one-time grab of that opportunity. But the reason why the pain exists or the opportunity is out of reach is because we haven't clearly defined something that's really fundamental to the framework of how we operate. And so what typically happens, if you look at this Venn diagram, is we're really trying to fine-tune message, right? We're trying to fine-tune people. And we might think that we've hired the wrong employees, or that we need to have better organic social engagement. In process, we may think that we need new apps or other software or a point of sale system, because something about our current process is wrong. So we need to replace a system or an app with another system or app that doesn't work. And with product, we could be trying to expand the product or offer something different, or pivot hard and change direction in what we offer our customers. Because we're really, we just need more money. We just need more money, and we think it's one of these other things because we're having problems with profit and cash flow. But what typically happens is when you peel back the layers to the problem, or peel back the layers to why the opportunities elude you, it is almost always 99% of the time because we haven't clearly defined one of these fundamental things that are important to our brand. And that is, we haven't defined our purpose. We haven't operationalized our mission and our guiding principles, or our brand values into behaviors that allow us to choose. Because every day we're making choices. Do we want to offer the right thing, or do we want to offer the affordable thing? Do we want to go after this thing we know that's right, or what we can actually afford to do? Do we want to invest time that we don't have, or just do what we can do in the 2 hours that we have? We don't know how to make those choices often because we haven't actually set up the guardrails. Or we have challenges because we feel like there's not enough customers, that we've outgrown our market, or we're advanced and we're ahead of our customers and they just haven't caught up with us. Or we need to grow beyond local and we need to go online so we can ship internationally or ship nationally beyond the confines of our metro city. Right? And typically, when we have those challenges, we haven't clearly defined not only who our persona is, or what I like to think of as our muse's muse, who inspires our muse. We haven't thought about the other end of the spectrum, which is who's never going to buy for us, but looks an awful lot like our buyer. They're friends of, they're co-shoppers with. And because we haven't clearly defined, because we're afraid that niching means we sell to no one, when in fact, when you look at the brands that inspire you, they're the ones that are clearly delineating and defining their persona and have said, it's okay if I'm not for you. I think you'll enjoy this other thing down the street. When we haven't really defined that, we feel like we need to do other things to help us find our right customer, when if we just dove in to really define it, our message would be amplified. So rather than standing on the corner and saying, do you want to buy a candy bar? You would be walking up to the person that you know likes your candy bars and say, hey, I've got this right thing for you. Or we have challenges with merchandise assortment. And to me, merchandise assortment, even though it's this other pillar out here, this other area of the business, because we run inventory-based businesses, when you get mission right and customers right, it's going to be so much easier for you to assort your product or determine what services you want to offer your product or want to offer your customer. But this whole notion around merchandise assortment and services is less about, let me create this product that's going to draw more customers, and more about, I've really identified and honed in on a brand lover or honed in on this extremely specific niche market. Let me find more products to sell to them. So here's my assignment for you as you pull out of your business, fly up in a helicopter 6,000 feet, is to identify one problem in your business or identify one opportunity that eludes you. This one thing, I want you to think on and take notes about why is this a thing you're focusing on? Why is this the challenging thing? Why does this require me to roll up my sleeves? And after you've identified that thing and really thought through and assessed it, you're going to ask yourself why at least 3 times. So why is this a challenge? Diary on that. Then you're going to ask yourself, that's interesting. Tell me more. Why do you think that is? So don't ask yourself from a place of like a toddler, like why? Ask yourself from a place of being extremely curious and being a really empathetic listener of your brand and your customer and your business, so that you can really identify and uncover what you need to revisit or what you need to create. Is it purpose and operationalizing your business purpose? Is it defining who you're selling to and who you're not? Is it getting very clear about how you bring your ideas and your dreams forward through assortment and through service? Because you may need to redefine your scope. They change over time. They may change over time. Or you may need to create this, because it's so easy to jump into business and start selling and have overlooked this. And I'm certain when you do, the challenges you have around product, process, and people are going to be significantly easier to approach, because you've defined some fundamental areas that hadn't been defined before. And then that makes the profitability significantly easier to get to. All right. So if you would like this diagram, I have it as a bonus download. So it's there for you. I would highly encourage you to print it out, put it up on your office wall or download it as a PDF and use it as a background on your computer. And when you do, as you work through your assignment, please let me know what thing you have uncovered and how you're using the 4 pillars of running an inventory-based business to help you get more profitable. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, this is Chris for Merchant Method, and I will catch you next time. Bye.